What's up, guys? This is Mike Loris, and I'm here bringing you Game 3 between Quantic and Complexity. So far, first I guess we should say that this is the defense second round of the winner's bracket, so getting pretty far along here. Both the teams each have a win under the belt, and whoever wins this will move on to the next round of the winner's bracket. Whoever loses this will not be knocked out. They'll still be in the tournament. They'll just drop down to the loser's bracket. But that means that they have to play a couple more games, and the more games you have to play, the higher your odds are of losing, especially when the competition in this tournament is just so fierce. Anyway, the first game was taken by Complexity in pretty dominating fashion. Quantic didn't have the late game to compete with Complexities. And then in the last game, Quantic kind of struck back using a very farmed Nature's Prophet plus a Gondar, whose track bonuses really helped out the team, and the Nature's Prophet had a Hand of Midas for a freaking long time also, so he was rolling in the dough, and they managed to dominate Complexity, shut down the Morphling. They didn't let the Morphling get anything. That's exactly what you gotta do against the Morphling. So in this game, we do see the Nature's Prophet ban and the Naga Siren ban, who are both standard bans, but they've both been used by each other's, the opposite team to great effect. So not only banning them because they're powerful heroes, but also banning them because they've been just an absolute pain in the ass for the respective teams. Darkseer are going to be picked out for Complexity, so right off the bat they have a little bit of hard lane control. It's going to prevent Quantic from putting a melee hero up against Darkseer, but if they do, it's going to be a pretty free lane for the Darkseer. Usually you want to put a ranged hero against him. First of all, you have the reason being behind that is that you have the innate ranged versus melee advantage, but Darkseer is able to hold his own no matter what lane he's in, and that's part of the reason why teams always first ban him or even first pick him, as we see right now. Quantic taking a little bit of time when they could just very easily make the first pick of Invoker and someone else like Enchantress or something like that, but they're just going to take their time, and there's no rush. Well, there you go. Invoker, Tidehunter. So they are going to take that Invoker and do have a setup slow for that Sunstrike if they decide to go that route. But I've recently been seeing a little bit more usage out of the Wex build, because it's a little bit more guaranteed and you get a lot more control out of the team fights. You don't get the huge amounts of global presence, but even if you don't have the stun to really set it up, it can be kind of difficult to land that Sunstrike. And the Forged Spirits are also very useful. Rubik is going to be picked up by Complexity, and my computer's lagging a little bit. These portraits are kind of delaying, taking their sweet ass time, but whatever, shouldn't be that big of a deal. Rubik and Venomancer being picked up by Complexity, so taking the support heroes very early on, and right now they have quite a bit of support. They are lacking on the damage, but that's something that could easily be shored up with any number of picks. Venomancer and Rubik, not really known for their damage. They do have quite a bit of magical damage coming out from their Poison and Fade Bolt respectively. Not to mention what Rubik could possibly grab from the Quantic side. Darkseer's damage, kind of weird. It definitely is a lot. You could do a lot of damage with that Ion Shell, but it's not dependable at all, since you have to be in melee range and you get slowed down, stunned, or whatever, and then all your damage isn't coming out anymore. Quantic, on the other hand, does have a little more guaranteed damage of the Invoker, ranged right clicker, and they're going to pick up a Brewmaster. So they're currently setting themselves up for a pretty big team fight lineup. Ravage, Split, and then of course Invoker with his giant bag of tricks. That does not say that Complexity will be completely thrashed, though. Their team fight's not bad at all. Rubik's does have some pretty good spells to steal. He could just try to steal a Split, which would be hilarious, but Ravage is always good, and no matter what you steal from the Invoker, assuming it's not some shitty level 1 exhort thing, if he's going for a Wex build, then like a Sunstrike. But usually, no matter what you get, is going to be pretty good, and I don't know why this Brewmaster portrait isn't showing up. Whatever. But Complexity going to ban out the heavy-hitting damage that Quantic does like to choose, the Morphling, one of Korok's signature heroes. And right now, Quantic is pretty melee-heavy. They're looking to get either some hard support or a hard, really, carry type. The support heroes so far only involves a Tidehunter, and usually you want the Tidehunter to get a little bit more farm. So Quantic probably going to look towards a Shadow Demon or a Crystal Maiden or even a Vengeful Spirit why not go for the Vengeful Spirit or something baller like the Visage? You can do pretty well as a support hero, get a very decent tri lane or even dual lane going off there. But the Brewmaster currently is pick unavailable, portrait unavailable, so not sure what's going on there. The ban's coming out. Lone Druid preventing Complexity from running a very aggressive push lane. Venomancer with those wards. Darkseer, if he Ion Shells the bear, that's, say you could say goodbye to your creep wave. Kiss your creep wave goodbye. I guess that's the words I was trying to find. And that really, once you lose that creep wave, that bear is still on the front line. You could hug people with that Ion Shell. And then, well, that's basically guaranteed damage with the Ion Shell, especially if the bear already has Radiance. It's like having a double Radiance on the bear that does stack, which is it's pretty respectable damage. Complexity also banning out the Enchantress, making sure that Quantic is going to be forced to lane their heroes. The Enigma is still in the pool, which is something that Quantic might want to pick up. Either team would like to pick up the Enigma. You would rarely see a game without the Enigma being picked or banned. And it will fit pretty well into either one of these teams' lineups. Just gonna have to see what they decide to pick. And the laning from Quantic is gonna be kind of rough so far. I mean, all the three heroes that they have now are capable of soloing the mid lane, and Invoker you usually see in the mid lane the most. But Brewmaster probably gonna go there unless Quantic picks up a really good support to go with that Brewmaster, which is not out of the question yet. They still have a very large opportunity to do so. Complexity, on the other hand, they do have their support locked down. They do have their utility locked down. So they're going to be looking for either a large amount of early mid-game power, something like a Sand King, maybe a Chaos Knight, or looking for a hard carry. So Complexity can take it either way. Which one is better? I don't know. They could definitely pull either one of those off. You see the Visage ban being taken out of the pool. Visage did pretty well in the first game, where Complexity did manage to win. And Quantic does seem to remember that, so now we're going to see what Complexity wants to do. They could go for very early mid-game power. Sand King Windrunner would cap off this lineup pretty well. Lots of magic damage and lots of lockdown ability. Or they could go for another support hero into a hard carry. Or they're just going to go for the Enigma, as I said before. So their pushing is very respectable. They do have the Ion Shell to co-op the Creep Wave, Venomous Wards, plus the Eidolons. Can do a lot of damage to the tower. But they have also built into kind of a large teamfight team. There's a Shadow Demon pick from Quantic. So Shadow Demon, Brewmaster, probably going to be the lane of choice for Quantic. They could even tri-lane that up, make the Tidehunter solo, which they have done. I believe it was them who did it. I don't know, I'm getting all these games confused in my head because I'm not casting them in one sitting. But yeah, it's fine. It's fine. We got this shit. Anyway, Complexity, what are they going to be building into? They have so many options. Their laning is, spot on. Or flexible is what I mean, because their Enigma could go into a lane of jungle. They could run a dual lane. They could run a tri lane. Really, the options for Complexity are wide open. Quantic, on the other hand, most likely going to see a Shadow Demon Brewmaster lane with Invoker and Tidehunter soloing up some lanes, and maybe a third person to go with that Brewmaster. Possibly a CM Shadow Demon, very solid support duo. And that will leave a lot of room for the Brewmaster to get his items up, Blink Dagger, Aghanim Scepter, whatever he decides to get up. And what's it gonna be, Complexity? What's it gonna be? Well, anyway, by the time you see this, game 1 and 2 will already be up. Mindjet is uploading them at like 0 bytes per second, so it's taking a really frickin' long time. The internet in a couple months will get a lot better come September. Right now it is August 2nd, so the videos will come out a lot faster, so then the ultimate restricting factor will be how my voice holds up. I am trying to do some like diaphragm speaking or whatever, but I have no idea if I'm doing it correctly. Ooh, Razor gonna be the big bulky pick for Complexity. very awesome since we don't often see Razor. But Razor does fit in quite well with this team. It will give them a little bit of AoE, and Razor does do quite a bit of damage and is tanky, because that's how most teams like to build him. Usually, he's not really seen because he's instead the teams tend to favor the more mobile heroes. Razor moves pretty quickly, but he's definitely no anti-mage, definitely no morphling as far as survivability goes, because he kind of has to. He's forced to build into survivability, and his damage drain, well, not really that useful against Quantic. Shadow Demon, it's like, well, you can take his damage, but that doesn't matter. Tide Hunter, same thing. Invoker damage drain could be pretty good, and the Bounty Hunter is going to be the pickup from Quantic. So once again, looking for that extra gold. They might solo up the Bounty Hunter on the top lane as they did before with the Tide Hunter, Pandaren, and Shadow Demon tri-lane possibly. I'm getting a lot of lag for some reason. But it's okay, because nothing is actually happening. Where'd my mouse go? Okay. Come on. Come on, baby. You could do it. So Razor will give Complexity a lot of damage. That is their carry. Razor isn't the hardest carry, but when you have so much team fight and so much support coming out from your team, the lack of carry and the substitution of bulk, as far as the hero goes, works pretty well. So I'd be interested to see what Razor plays in this lineup, and what the crap, where is my game going? This very laggy. One second, I'm gonna see if I could kill some things in the background. Oh, why the hell is my computer scanning? What the fuck? I didn't order that. Oh, it's almost done scanning. I didn't even realize it was scanning. Whatever, cancel that shit. I could always scan you later. There we go. Looks a little smoother. Hopefully it wasn't picked up by Fraps, anything that I did. Fraps has been pretty good. I have no idea how it works, but it's been pretty good about only staying on the Dota screen.
10 seconds
And the heroes are starting to come out, and hurry the hell up, guys. This is just a waiting screen for too long. Here we go. We're in the game. Complexity side, IX Mike picking up his Venomancer roles, usual support hero. Fluff and Stuff on the Enigma, Jo on the Rubik, TC on the usual carry of the Razor, and Hannah Montana is going to be playing that Dark Seer. Meanwhile, on the Quantic side, we have Brax playing the Invoker, Painted Gold once again picking up the Brewmaster, Korok again picking up the Bounty Hunter, Mikey picking up the Tide Hunter this game, with Matrim on the Shadow Demon. So interesting kind of switch up that they're running right now. Korok did play the Bounty Hunter last game, and he did pretty well. He got a lot of extra gold for his team, managed to survive quite a bit. He was playing with fire a lot of the time, but now we might see a level 1 clash between Complexity and Quantic. Who's going to have the upper hand? I think Complexity is going to have the upper hand if they decide to take this fight. Jo is now rounding the corner. He is not going to spot out. He's going to spot out the Tide Hunter, but that's about it. Looks like Complexity doesn't want to take this. I feel like if they do fight, it will be in Complexity's favor, because Invoker level 1 isn't the best hero at all. He just has right clicks. He might even be forced into an Exhort to try to get a little bit more damage out. Tide Hunter's great, Brewmaster's great. Matron's Disruption will be pretty good as well, but Korok, not the best. Whereas, on the other side, you have the Venomous Gale, which is just so huge at level 1. Ion Shell as well. Telekinesis is a fantastic disable, plus Plasma Field is pretty much guaranteed to hit everyone, so Complexity not willing to take risks. They're more of a careful team, and from what I've seen, very methodical about how they approach games. So on the top lane, TC is going to be there. It is going to be a dual tri-lane situation with Venomancer probably doing a little bit of pulling business over here with the Enigma in the jungle. Oh shit, I just knocked my mic. Oh, sorry guys. Hopefully that wasn't that loud. Stupid mic getting in the way. Jo is going to be mid against Painted Gold. Painted Gold should have a rather decent time, especially since, well, Shadow Demon is here as well. Disruption into Ground Slam. We'll be able to kill Jo pretty much outright. On the bot lane, we have Brax as the Invoker with an Exhort build. Mikey is the Tide Hunter supporting him, and Hannah Montana playing very far back because he does not know where the Shadow Demon is. Shadow Demon did pick up an invisibility root, and Jo as well as the Dark Seer are forced to play very cautiously because of that. They don't know where he is, and if he's in the bot lane, it could be extreme trouble for the bot lane. If he's in the mid lane, it could be extreme trouble for them. Top lane, they're kind of a little bit more confident because Korok isn't going to be able to help out with the ganks that much. But now Matron and Jo starting to trade some right clicks, taking quite a bit of damage from Jo. And that is Hannah Montana's cue to move up. Tidehunter doing his usual support Tidehunter thing, trying to pressure back the enemy lane, but Darkseer is one of the few heroes who could not really worry about that, just stand his ground and punch the Tidehunter, put an ion shell on himself, and then chase the Tidehunter down, and he's going to take that engagement favorably, like 80% of the time. Korok is on the top lane, and he is having an absolute hell of a time. Already a Sentry Ward is being placed down, and Korok seems to know. Oh, there you go. Now he knows. So Complexity knows that Korok's in these trees. He's not going to get anything from this lane. If they have another Sentry Ward, Venomancer could just like block off. Well, actually Korok walks his way out. He's going to take some right clicks on his way back towards the lane, but he's perfectly okay with that. Pause going out now, and let's take a look at the farm. Pretty expected. Enigma leading the way. Mama Paulson. I don't know what that means. But Enigma usually is a very good jungling hero because he could... What the hell? Because he could clear off the creeps extremely quickly. Conversion is a guaranteed kill. And the conversions at level 1, you could usually kill pretty much anything. Brewmaster on the bot lane. No. Is Brewmaster on the bot lane? I'm smoking something. Brewmaster in the mid lane with the mainstream support is going to handle this lane quite well. We already see that. Jo only has 1 deny, whereas there's 7 denies on the Brewmaster, not to mention 9 creep kills, so he's leading the way as far as that goes. But so far the farm is relatively even. You can see the red-green kind of pattern switching off there with these 3 heroes on the bottom. Venomancer is kind of expected, Tidehunter is kind of expected, since they're both playing the support role, but Korok is not going to get anything. He's going to try to make that up once he gets to level 6, but right now he is sitting at 0 experience. So he's currently very far behind, whereas the Razor at level 2, almost at level 3, going to take his 8th creep kill here. So this Bounty Hunter getting absolutely nothing. He was going to try to Shadow Walk and leech experience, but with that early Sentry Ward, plus the large amounts of range coming out from this Complexity top lane, it's going to force Korok to play extremely far back. He's starting to leech some experience now, but it's not going to be enough to really stay competitive unless he makes something happen. Korok's actually stepping up and getting a creep kill, so lucky him. Tidehunter did use the gush on Hannah Montana just to slow him down, who picked up a rune? Regeneration rune, so a couple more ion shells going to come out from him, not worrying about his mana. Making sure this lane is pushed out. It's usually something that you do with Darkseer, because the creeps do this, and then no matter how large your range is, you're going to take a lot of damage from that ion shell. Brax being dropped to almost half with just 1 ion shell cast, such a devastating spell. And if you're a melee hero, you have an even worse time. Brax is going for an extort build. With that disruption plus clap, it's pretty guaranteed to hit onto someone. So Korok going to try to steal some creeps, but his invisibility is actually going to run out, and he's forced to teleport straight away. He's going to get out of there without dying, and now Painted Gold is forcing Jo back very aggressively. He's taking a lot of creep damage, though. He's trying to buy time for right-clicks onto this tower, drawing the creep wave out into the Roshan area. He's probably going to have to use his salve, however, but he's doing all that to put some additional damage on this tower. 810 health. So, as far as the hard lanes go, Hannah Montana is sitting at 3 for 0, level 3, whereas Korok is 2 for 0, level 2. So the Darkseer, as expected, much more capable solo hard lane hero than the Bounty Hunter. Bounty Hunter usually could survive in the solo lane because he could just sit in Shadow Walk. But the support from Iox Mike with those Sentry Wards make sure that Korok doesn't get much at all. He's going to sit in the Shadow Walk right there. If he drops a Sentry Ward, Korok could be in a little bit of trouble. He doesn't seem to know that he's there, though. Very sneaky Bounty Hunter. Hannah Montana is actually taking quite a bit of damage on the bot lane. They're going to be a Sunstrike. Sunstrike is going to miss, and the salve does get cancelled, however, so the Darkseer is going to be hurting for a little bit of health, but he manages to survive. so survival always the priority. Now we have Eidolons coming into the lane. Looks like Complexity want to do a little bit of pressure onto this tower. Korok as the bounty hunter does not have anything to stop this, so he's just gonna have to sit here, try to pull back the creep wave as he instantly takes a gale. He does have Shadow Walk, and the damage drain coming out onto Korok. He's gonna take a lot of right click damage from this Razor. Plasma Field gonna go off as well. He's gonna go down. One last right click by the Venomancer is gonna be the first blood. Korok going down on the top lane, and this is gonna mean that the tower has no one to defend it. They need to get some creeps there so that the siege creep doesn't actually die. TC taking up the tower for a little bit, IX Mike taking the tower for a little bit, and here's the creep wave. They want to try to keep the siege creep up as long as possible, and it is going to survive to take down this tower. Let's see who's going to get the last hit. If TC is on his game, then he's going to get it. Yes, he is. So this Razor already at 1,500 health, not 1,500 health, 1,500 gold. Probably going to go for a Vanguard or a Hood. Against this team, a Hood, well, he's going to go for a Vanguard. Either one is very good. You want to build very tanky as Razor, especially in these types of games. In pubs, you can build damage, you can build whatever you want, and it's a hell of a lot of fun. But in these games, usually, you just want to sit and really get the bulk of your damage from that static link drain. So rely on the drain to do your right-click damage, plus the Eye of the Storm. Between those two, you'll be pretty good as far as your damage goes. You don't really have to build much damage. Later on, you can just build a Manta style, and that would usually be enough. At least enough to hold you. Jao's getting a little bit of time in the mid lane, but Matrim is as well, because Painted Gold has left for a little bit of a rune check, so Matrim heading a little bit closer to his level 6 disruption now onto the Rubik, and a slam immediately to follow. Jao is going to teleport away from this. So both teams just being very slippery with their teleportations. Don't want to take any chances. He knows that there isn't a stun up on this mid lane. Disruption was already used, and Brewmaster not even level 6, and if they teleport, then before your split, then you can't really catch up to them with that rock. So that is the guaranteed escape coming out from Jo, who's only level 3, whereas both heroes in the mid lane are level 4. So he's getting severely outlaned, but there's really nothing you could do as a Rubik against two heroes, especially the heroes of this caliber, who could pretty much just instantly kill you, especially if Soulcatcher manages to latch. And you can see that already they have a very aggressive ward up on this high ground, making sure that they have vision of Jo, which means Matrim can attack from the low ground. Not the most base damage coming out from Shadow Demon, but every little bit will help to take down the Rubik, force him to buy a couple more consumables, and, you know, just do a little bit of pressure. Not much happening in this game, though. Fluff and Stuff does have quite a few Eidolons. Going to push down this top lane once again, possibly. Have the Eidolons tank, try to clear off some of these creeps. They can do this really easily. They either take the tower or force someone from Quantic to come defend. Quantic seems to be content with the lane setup they have now. Tidehunter, even if he does go up there, he's not going to offer very much as far as the lane control goes. Invoker is the same way. They actually are kind of lacking as far as the counter push goes. Plasma Field going off, hitting Korok for half of his health. Level 4 Plasma Field already, and this tower is going to go down. No teleports coming in from the Quantic side. Fortifications to stall them up. Sunstrike going to land onto IX Mike, but he's going to be just fine because there's no follow-up. And this tower is going to go down. Korok is still here. He did use the salve, so he's back at full health, but this tower is going to go down. Let's see if TC manages to bag himself a second tower. No, Enigma with his Eidolons are going to take the tower this time. So sharing the love, Enigma almost at his mechanism. So pretty early in mechanism coming out from the Enigma, who got free reign over the jungle. Let's see who's going to get the mech. Most likely a Shadow Demon mech. I don't know, there's no mech in the works for Quantic at all, so they're kind of hurting for gold. The gold advantage is very far ahead in Complexity's favor. Wow, already 12k advantage as far as gold goes. Experience staying a little bit more level, but with 2 towers plus the first blood, that gold advantage is kind of expected. And they're going to, Quantic that is, they're going to try to recover somewhat using this track from Bounty Hunter. If he could get some ganks off with that track, he could get himself right back into this game, and more importantly, he get his team back in this game, because his team is currently very far behind as far as the gold income goes. Darkseer is level 5, so he's a little bit behind Korok as far as the experience goes, but, you know, he's going to eventually get there, and level 6 Darkseer isn't that important at all. Darkseer doesn't really need levels. I mean, like, he's very effective right now. More levels will make him more effective, but his level level 6 ultimate, not something that you usually see picked up, so he's okay with being a little bit behind as far as levels go. But Mikey, on the other hand, he's someone who really needs that level 6 Ravage. Looks like Matrim, as well as the Tidehunter, are going to smoke up and look for someone to kill. They might head towards the top lane. Smoke is going to run quite a bit of its duration until they get up there. They might chill for a little bit, look for the 10-minute rune, or they might not. I'm just going to keep heading up towards that top lane. Together with Korok, they're going to look for a kill. TC does have a Vanguard, however, so he's going to be very hard to bring down. Their target is Ix Mike. He's pretty much dead already. Korok could solo kill Ix Mike. There goes the track, as well as not a hit, and Ix Mike is going to get taken down very easily by this Bounty Hunter, so not really sure what the Venomancer was doing there at less than half health. Usually you don't want to do that, but I felt extremely confident with those 2 towers down that no one from Quantic would come up, and he actually paid for that with his life, so a pickup from Quantic, pretty much what they need to keep doing. Now we see Hannah Montana with double damage and looking for Brax. He actually has 2 illusions of himself. Well, just 1 illusion of himself being aggressive. And looking to take, or at least pressure back TC, who's gotten complete free farm. 10-minute Vanguard, plus Boots, plus Basilius. But TC is playing extremely cautiously, as well he should. He knows that 2 heroes from Quantic were in this area before. But now they are moving down towards the mid lane, where Jo, as well as Fluff and Stuff, with those Eidolons and Fade Bolt, trying to put a little bit of damage onto this tower. This tower most likely is not going to go down, but it's going to take a fair amount of damage from these Eidolons. What level are these guys anyway? They're level 4, he's maxed out. And there's a smoke coming out from Jo, as well as Fluff and Stuff, looking towards the bot lane, where Hannah Montana is set up right now to kill Brax, but Brax does have a Force Staff, so it's going to be very difficult to... yeah, okay, the gold graph is bugged. Yeah, that would make sense for that, because that amount of gold advantage is pretty insane. But now Brax is in a little bit of danger. Telekinesis to open up, bringing Brax down. Oh, actually, this is going to slam him right into the ground. He's stunned up once again. He's going to pop the black hole for this one. Brax is going to go down to the Enigma. Used quite a bit of their spells, but a kill is a kill is a kill, and they dusted for Korok. Korok wasn't there. Rubik managing to pick up a tower. Tidehunter, in the meantime, denying the mid tower, so the tower actually did go down. Lots of damage coming out from those catapults. Going to be a little bit of a push for Quantic, getting that tower deny. But they did lose a tower on the bot lane, and they only have 2 towers left. Whereas Complexity, oh god, Matrim, what are you doing there? Jo, oh, actually Painted Gold blinking in. He does not have mana for his split. There he is, using the bottle charge to get enough mana. And now Jo's in a lot of trouble. Sunstrike gonna hit on Fluff and Stuff, actually walking into that. Jo is managing to stay alive, but one more hit from the Storm Panda. Fire Panda is actually getting blocked by the Earth. They just need to rock him one more time. Where's the rock? There's the rock. Jo is gonna go down to that rock. But now the Panda and Brewmaster is in a lot of trouble. He's completely surrounded by Complexity's side. He's just going to get right click down. There's no escape for you, Painted Gold. Venomancer with the kill. Trading Brewmaster for the Rubik. More importantly, the Brewmaster ultimate. The Rubik, very good exchange for Complexity. Who got that off? The Venomancer did get that right click. Who now has a Medallion of Courage, so he's looking towards a very early Roshan. With these Eidolons, they could do it pretty easily. Darkseer to tank up. They do have a mech. And even though Rubik's there, Rubik is going to be there by the time Roshan starts to really get low. And with all the towers already cleared, there's nowhere for Quantic to teleport in to try to contest this at all. They're going to be forced to walk, as you see the movement from the Quantic side of the map, starting to walk over here. But this Roshan is taking quite a bit of damage from that Medallion. Plus these Eidolons. So much minus armor and additional damage coming out. Gale going off onto Brax. He's in a little bit of trouble. Force staffing himself out. Disruption going off onto the Rubik. And now Ix Mike taking quite a bit of damage. Painted Gold blinks in for a clap. Hitting everyone from the Complexity side, but there is no split to follow up. Mikey is here. Does have a Ravage. There goes the Ravage, hitting 3 people on the Complexity side. There are all of Complexity is very low. But the thing is, they're still surviving. Korok is dusted, and actually he's not dusted. He might die to this plasma field. Yes, he's going to go down. Matrim is still alive, but not for long, as Rubik takes another kill. Mikey is in the full retreat. Painted Gold's in full retreat, and that's another 3 kills. Very easy for Quantic on top of that Roshan, who actually picked up Razor. So Razor is pretty damn bulky. Vanguard, Phase Boots, Aegis, so he's not unkillable. And this is going to be another easy tower coming the way of Complexity. Quantic, if they had that Brewmaster split, their fight would have gone completely differently. The Invoker, though, was forced to really fall back early. So even though Tidehunter got a very good Ravage and Black Hole still wasn't up for Enigma, Complexity managed to take that fight handily. Not to mention a Roshan on top of that. So even though the gold graph is bugged, this is, pretty realistic as far as the gold goes. Experience is going to be the main tell here. Actually, we could look at the total gold earned. I don't know if total gold earned is the same as gold per minute. Well, actually, it probably should be. Let's just look at this total gold earned. Lots of red up on the top with the 3 heroes from Quantic on the bottom, especially the Bounty Hunter. That's something you don't want to see as a team who's running a Bounty Hunter. Razor does have 1900 gold. He could go for his man style, he could go for even more bulk and just be an unkillable monster this game. Either one will be pretty good. Invoker does have that 4 staff, and that's pretty much all he has. Tidehunter level 7, so he's maxed out his gush. He's going to be as useful as he could possibly be for a support Tidehunter at this portion of the game. Matrim, not even boots yet. This guy is poor as hell. He doesn't have any kills, doesn't have any assists, so the mid lane from Quantic, although it did buy up enough time for Painted Gold to get a Blink Dagger, it didn't really get a lot of kills on that lane, because Rubik was playing extremely cautiously. Rubik managed to pick up Forge Spirits, so that's pretty cool. Now you're going to see a push from Quantic onto the bot lane. Complexity can defend this. They do have that black hole up. Razor's cooldown is very low. Darkseer doesn't have his ultimate yet. Venomancer, very low health. Did he sell a... He did sell a Ring of Health to buy wards. Okay. It's kind of weird, but... No, not looking for that Vanguard, instead looking for wards, and you kind of need wards. Jaro's going to move up to his front lines, and he's going to steal Thunderclap. Plasma Field's going to go out from Razor, clearing off the creep wave, trying to keep this tower as healthy as possible, and Quantic is going to fall back. They could probably take a fight with all their big ultimates up, but it is going to be very close. It's going to depend very heavily on who gets caught in the black hole, who gets hit by all the big spells and positioning, stuff like that. And it's by no means assured for Complexity, but it's very risky for Quantic, since another bad fight will seal their coffin, whereas a good fight will just even up the game. So they're going to look for a little bit more of an opportunity, and the opportunity is going to happen right in this tier 2 tower. They're probably going to be forced to actually take a fight here. Razor does have a Yasha, which he could fly out. Looks like he's just going to hold onto it in the stash for the time being. Korok is on the front lines. Is there any detection? There should be detection. There isn't? Oh, there it is. Venomancer with detection. Venomancer... No, that's not Venomancer. Get the hell out of here. Venomancer does have sentry wards. And they're going to push pretty aggressively onto this tier 2 tower. Blink in, clap from the Pandora Brewmaster. He's going to split immediately, going onto Fluff and Stuff. Fluff and Stuff taking a ton of damage. Is he going to die before he pops up the black hole? Ravage to do a little more damage, plus Korok to finish the deal. But Ravage actually got stolen by Jayo. TC just sitting in the middle of everything with that ultimate, doing a ton of damage. Hannah Montana is going to get right-clicked down by the Invoker while the Razor gets floated up into the air. Brax telekinesis up, but he's going to force himself back out, still taking a lot of poison damage. He's going to try to teleport out of this. He is going to get out just barely. Skin of his teeth, but 2 down for Quantic, 2 down for Complexity. No black hole was popped off there. Darkseer tanked up a lot of damage. So even though that fight did go pretty well for Quantic, their tower is still going to fall, so they're slowly getting more and more behind. Yellow teleporting in now, that is the Tidehunter looking for a rebuttal kill. IX Mike is going to be the target. Venomascale going to go off on 2 people. Going to drain off lots of Tidehunter damage. Track going off onto the Venomancer as well. Korok has lost his Shadow Walk, but Korok with that Plasma Field, just barely surviving with 45 HP. Poison damage might take him over. No, poison damage is not going to be enough. The pink and dark green from Complexity are going to run back. Ice Mike taking a cold snap. He's taking quite a bit of damage from Brax. Brax is slammed down into the deck by that telekinesis, and the Razor is still here, gets disrupted up. Going to go for that Tidehunter, a couple more right clicks, going to be able to take him down. His ultimate is actually the one that seals the deal. And now Matrim is on the run. TC with those level 3 in his, what is it called? Unstable Current? Yeah, Unstable Current. Can try to chase after him, plus Phase Boost, but he's almost at his Manta style, and Complexity wants to keep going. Fluff and Stuff is here. He does have Force Staff as well as Black Hole, so if Quantic blinks in on them, if they try to get an engagement, they're going to be facing a very large Black Hole. And with the right-click damage coming out from these Eidolons, not to mention the Ion Shell to clear off the creep wave, this tower is going to go down. The Raxes are in danger this early on in the game. Pre-20-minute Raxes. Painted Gold going to try to drunk up TC, save their Raxes a little bit more of health. Mikey is still alive, but a blink-in clap from Painted Gold, and now they're kind of clumping up Fluff and Stuff's Black Hole, only catching Mikey, and immediate Cold Snap going to stun them off. Korok throwing a shuriken on Enigma, trying to disrupt him as well. Tidehunter is going to walk away from this as we see what's going to get stolen. Track going to get stolen by Rubik, so that's a pretty good spell to steal. Blue teleporting back in the fight after healing. TC launching his plasma field, once again trying to clear up the creep wave. But the barracks has been destroyed. Complexity has not sustained any casualties. Brax is on the chase, going to try to cold snap up Jail, but there's no right-click damage to follow up. Now Complexity could fall back, but they want to get another kill. Telekinesis onto Brax. Brax taking a ton of damage. Did lay down that ice wall, so it's going to be hard for Complexity to chase, but does not matter. Darkseer with that Iron Shell, taking over the last of Invoker's HP, and this Rax is going to fall eventually. It's just a matter of whether or not Complexity wants to stay for this. It would not be beneficial for them, since this Rax is on a timer right now, as the creep wave from Complexity is going to constantly push down. Looks like Complexity going to just fall back. They do have a pipe up on the Darkseer. That just got flew into him. Manta up on Razor. So this Razor is absolutely stacked, involved in 11 out of the 12 kills. So that's pretty much exactly what you want to have as far as a carry goes. 11 stuff, 4 staff mech. Venomancer still not going for that Vanguard. Might just hold on to that Vitality Booster and buy a whole bunch of wards, which is what he's been doing. Jo does have a 4 staff of his own, and on the Quantic side, they're just so far behind. Earn on the Bounty Hunter, 4 staff, Bracer on the Tidehunter, and still not even boots on the Shadow Demon. He could buy them now, but really, he doesn't need mobility. He just has to try to get bulk and just take as many hits as he can for his team. Quantic's Painted Gold and Korok looking towards the top lane. They are going to run into Fluff and stuff, but I don't think they could take him by themselves. Fluff and stuff is going to just 4 staff onto the low ground. Sunstrike is going to hit, but he's going to teleport out. They actually use the split for this. Rubik is in the area, managing to dodge that stun. Earth Panda is going to run to IX Mike, as well as Hannah Montana. This Earth Panda is in a little bit of trouble. He's actually going to walk out of this just fine. Now Complexity, with a pretty substantial lead, they could really do whatever they want. They could farm for another 20 minutes, which I would not like to see because farm fests are boring. Or they could push and try to take another tower. Painted Gold is going to be initiated upon him. Montana taking a lot of damage, but he does have that pipe, so he's going to have a lot of it mitigated as well. Mikey is going to be forced to pop off the Ravage, hitting a lot of people for Complexity, but just not enough follow-up coming out from the Quantic side. Mikey is going to get taken down by the Razor. And now TC. Wow, he didn't even pop his Manta for that. He is just going to demolish the entire team of Quantic with that Ravage down. Tidehunter kind of a low level, so he's going to be back up in just a little bit, but it's not really that great of a trade. Fast respawn timer versus a very useless Tidehunter. You know, not that great. And this tower is going to go down. Track's going to go off from Korok, trying to spot out all of the Complexity heroes. Telekinesis onto Korok as well. Ravage being stolen by Jo once again, and Brax is going to get taken down by the Venomancer. This tier 3 tower is going to go down. Nothing that Quantic could do about this. They still have they still do have the split. No, they don't actually. They don't have anything. No cooldowns for them. Whereas all of Complexity do still have their big spells aside from that Venomous Scale. But IX Mike, look at that. I think I'm the legend. I am also, yeah, my name is okay. Okay, so that is going to be the series, folks. Complexity winning it 2-1 over Quantic. They are going to progress to the 3rd round, I believe, of the defense. Quantic is going to drop down to the losers bracket, the lower bracket, whatever you want to call it. So they're not out of this tournament yet. Hopefully they'll do a little bit of work in the lower bracket. But thanks for watching, guys. Let's see, what do I have coming up? Maybe a few more FP VODs. Gonna get a couple more of those up. Maybe another set from the defense. Could be anything, so watch out for that. But thanks for watching, guys. And GG. Gonna wait here for the score stream, and then that's it.
Radiant's middle tower is under attack. Radiant's middle tower has fallen.
That was hilarious. Mike is just killing off all his teammates. Why are you doing that?
Radiant's ancient is under attack.
All replica OP. Post-mortem triple kill. Well, I think it's not post-mortem.
Radiant's ancient is dire victory. The dire now have mega kills.
There it is, guys. GG.